All right.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises due to the Most High.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash.
All right, double eyes unto the apostles and elders of the great millstone, who do well, salutations to the elect. All right, we out here another Saturday, prophesying the downfall of this place called America. All right, Babylon the Great, spiritual Sodom and Egypt. All right, and hey, man, once again, man, we warning you people, man. All right, the Lord is warning you people. All right, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. All right, we're coming into a time where America is coming to an end. All right, as they mentioned on the other camp, they said America just had 250 years. All right, and that's usually the average time of an empire. So the empire of America is coming into an end, and before, all right, America is done. Guess what, man? This so-called white man, he's about to crash out, man. All right, he's losing his power. All right, that's got to be one of the worst feelings in the world, man. You ruled for so long, and you literally watching power like slip from your hands, man. All right, and before he goes out, he's about to show, all right, his hatred, right, towards you people, man. All right, you could read that. You could read that.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
Yeah, that day is great, man. So we're coming into a period of time, a specific period, a specific era in time, all right, that has not been seen before, is not going to be seen afterwards, man. All right, the amount of calamity and death, all right, and apparitions and all type of things that's about to go down. This is a one-of-one period in time, man.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Right, it's even a time of Jacob's trouble, man. So you Jakes out here that's comfortable here in America, all right? Even if you uncomfortable, you think this shit is gonna go on forever, all right? You think you're gonna adjust, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know, the real estate ain't working, so I'm gonna do this online, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Nah, man, all right? This time is called what? Jacob's trouble, man, all right? Guess what? A lot of death, a lot of persecution, famine, all right? Martial law, concentration camps, all right? Cyborgs, robots, all these type of things. Guess what? The so-called white man, he's about to show you the real hatred that he has for you, man. All right? All you kumbaya, we could live together and all of that. Them type of talks, all right? Which they were never valid in the first place, but especially now, man. All right? And them type of talks is going to get eradicated, man. All right, this man's about to come out with great wrath, man. Right? Right?
But he shall be saved out of it.
And that's why we're here. All right, doing what the Lord commanded us to do, man. All right, because hey, guess what? You got to serve the Lord with fear and trembling, because ultimately it is coming from Yahweh Shai. And guess what? We want to do what we can, all right, to please, all right, the Heavenly Father, man. All right? Be doing what we can, because guess what? Once this ball gets rolling, ain't no stopping it, man. Ain't no bullets that you can have. But Jake is not strapped like that. Ain't no secret hideouts or anything like that. Nah, man. All right? This is the wrath of Yahweh Shem Shai. But guess what? The elect is going to be saved out of it, man. This is why we'll come out here. We'll come out here weeks at a time. We'll come out here months at a time, years at a time. Nobody stops. Nobody asks any questions or anything like that, man. They say, yo, these guys, these guys are crazy. They out here in wintertime, all these type of things, man. But guess what? We're doing what we have to do, all right? Okay? To get out of the calamity that's about to come to this earth, man. All right? That's the only thing that's going to save you, man. Your money's not going to save you. All right? Your guns, the government ain't going to save you. All right? If somebody can get that war onto you, that go down to Egypt to help. Isaiah 30 or 31, either one is good. All right? Okay? You got to be in the good graces of Yahweh Shem Shai, because of the things that the so-called white man is coming down. You have to remember, you've never seen that before, man. You might see a couple of those things on movies, all right? And guess what? This is the Most High movies. And guess what? Here's the things that you see in these Hollywood movies is going to pale in comparison, all right, what the Most High got in store for this place, man. All right? Straight up.
Isaiah, Isaiah 31:1 says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
Yeah, that's right, man. So if you think this so-called white man, all right, got your best interest at heart, you surely mistaken, man. All right? Hey, the C-19 era, right? Oh, niggas go down to Egypt for help, right? Niggas is lining up to get fucking jabbed up, right? Niggas is getting gift cards to get jabbed up and all these type of things. And guess what? Hey, woe unto you, man. How many people died? How many people are gonna die, man? All right? When they let all these 5G towers and they activated or whatever they said they got going on with it, all right? Hey, man, you gonna see the tender mercies hit off the wicked, man. All right? Go ahead.
And stay on horses and trust in chariots because there are many.
Yeah, that's right, man. So people think the so-called white man, he has that power. As soon as shit go down, they run straight back. I think you can talk a bunch of shit, all right? But when shit get real, they run right back to Esau, man. All right, the so-called white man. So I can just stop and break it again.
Done. Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's what it is, man. All people, they trust in the so-called white man. They trust in his power, all right? Hey, man, I had a family member. Yo, I ain't taking the jab. I say, all right, bro. Guess what? A few weeks later, nah, bro, I had to take it. I had to travel. All this dumbass shit, man. All right? And guess what? Some people already feeling the effects from it. All right? Some people died. Some people, well to the spiritual realm. And guess what? Some people, okay, they're going to feel the effects in the very near future. All right? Trust in this man. This man has something called order apkeo. He creates a situation and, all right, then he comes up with a wicked-ass solution. Right? My brother, he's like, yeah, bro, I'm going to just take that shit and, I'll go back to living regular life. All right, bro. I mean, if that's how you feel, okay, right? Why would you trust in this man? This man has a history of medical malpractice, if you will, right? If you want to call it that, man. All right? What he did with the Native Americans, man, he gave them a gift, a so-called gift, all these blankets filled with smallpox, all right? You've seen the history of this man experimenting on our people.
They even going into the, what did they call it? The Tuskegee experiment?
Tuskegee experiments. And I'm going to tell you, where we at right now, in these buildings right here, they conducting experiments on Jakes. All right? All right? They conducting experiments on Jake. I ain't going to say where we at. You know what I mean?
Even too, when they was trying to basically perfect birth control, they was using Ephraimite women as like guinea pigs for that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't trust in what this man has to say, man. You look at somebody's record, all right? Like people like to say, oh, you don't judge. I'm gonna fucking judge you, bitch. All right? You look at this man past record and you don't trust nothing this man got going on, man.
I got a real quick precept. Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy.
Right. Never trust thy enemy. So-called white man is not your friend. Right? He's not your friend. Well, the doctor bro, you might go to a bitch's crib. It's a vast majority of black women I've encountered. Right? A lot of my clients. You go to them, wham! You open their medicine cabinet. Oh, I gotta take this and this. And I'm like, yeah, god damn. No wonder you fucking bugged out, man. All right? A lot of people flock to this man. All right? They flock in his to his hospitals, all right? For his medicine, these pharmacies and all these type of things, man. You're never supposed to trust this man. All right? Go ahead.
It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusts, so is his wickedness.
Yeah, man. Iron gonna rust, and the white man gonna be the wicked, man. And that's what it is, man. Iron gonna rust, the white man's gonna be the wicked. Ain't no matter how much he talks to you, no matter how much smooth words he speaks to you, man, this man, hey, man, is going to show his wickedness, man. All right, the scriptures speak about what? That might be the same thing. It says, though he pretend to help thee, all right, he imagined how to throw thee into a pit, man. All right, that's what it is, man.
Verse says similar.
Okay, yeah.
It says, verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yea, take good heed and beware of
Right. He might sympathize, try to oh, yo, I'm going through, oh, man, that's fucked up, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Nah, bro. In his heart, he really smiling, man. You telling this man his problems, telling him this man your problems, man.
Hey,
all right.
And the point with you recently, in New York, I believe they froze the rent.
Yeah.
For homes. But so Jake is all happy about it, right? They praising, the mayor, Esau, whatever. Okay, but here it is. Just because they froze the rent, that money has to come from somewhere because, you know, it's like they froze the rent, but for that building, the building still has to have its payments. You know, it's like I can't really get it together right now. The landlords have to make their payments, right? So really, what's going to end up happening is they're going to have to raise the prices on certain other things like groceries, your laundromats, you know, if you laundry outside your house, you know, they up the price to wash and dry your clothes. You know, it's getting out of hand at this point.
Right. Hey, maybe like a couple months ago, they had this thing. They were saying they want to push these. They want to have like a 7-day a school week or some shit like that, man. All right. They were talking about that. They're like, oh, well, you know, the parents. You know, the parents gotta work, so we gonna take care of the kids. And yo, bro, hell no, man. Hell no. Taking your child to go to school every fucking day, man. Like, hell no, man. All right, but that's how they portray it. Yo, we gonna do this and this for you to help you do this. When in reality, this man is trying to destroy you. You know what I'm saying? Because why? We arch enemies, man. We've been warring since the womb. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yea, take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
Yeah, that's right, man. So regardless of what this man got going on with you, he imagined to throw you to a pit. Bro, these Edomites, man, they'll play a 5-year game with your ass, man. Oh, he cool. You know, that white boy, he cool. You might be on the job with this nigga. And this nigga is really lining you up, man, to get you a spot. All right? Or get you up out of there, man. All right? Bunch of smiles and, you know, and hey, that's something I had to learn, man, in my business, man. You know, they come with you with smiles and, yo, Jay, you doing such a good job and all that. But guess what? When it get real, all right, he imagined how to destroy you. And that ain't gonna change, man. All right? It ain't gonna change. Oh, I grew up with this guy. Yeah, bro. He's an Edomite. Guess what, man? It don't matter. All right? It don't matter. Now you might have people with a Jake spirit that look like an Edomite. That's one thing, right? But a plain old Edomite, man, you don't give a fuck about you, man. All right, but that's the thing, man. Our people, they hard-headed, they stiff-necked. All right, they want to turn to this man. All right, like he's the Most High. They want to give this man the most credit, right? When this man out here doing all type of different experiments, you might go to the doctor. All right, he giving you all type of injections and shit that you don't necessarily need, right? They say Jake had the highest pain tolerance, so he really torturing you and all type of shit, man. All right, so you gotta watch out for this man. And guess what? In these upcoming days, he's gonna show his horns. You got something to say, bro?
I got an uncle. He's married to an Edomite woman, you know, in Kentucky. You know what I mean? Took her child as his own. And was taking care of her because she had a lot of brain tumors or whatever it was. So he was with her for years. Lord had her rock out for years. And then when she passed or whatever, all of her family, things that they said it was cool, that shit was done. Money, or whatever, will and shit and all that, he basically left out on the street. Damn. Pretty much. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he didn't tell me, my aunt told me. No, but hey, that's what it is. I went to go check him in that part of Florida, but I didn't really feel too comfortable. I was rocking out with the neighbors next door, more than the household. And that's before I was in the truth, like maybe a year or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. That's
With the enemy.
Right. With the enemy. Never trust our enemy. Yo, bro, listen, bro. I went to school in Western Pennsylvania, bro. That shit was a whole nother thing, man. A whole nother thing. I was naive, bro. I'm like, yo, you know, my grandmother, before I went to college, my grandmother sit me down, she talked to me, she said, yo, listen, these people are like this, this. I said, Granny, that's back in the day. That's back in the day, right? That's in the 70s and the 80s and shit, or the 60s and shit. It's a new day. Was I right? Nah, I was wrong, bro. Off the rip, all right? So you don't trust these people, man, and they're gonna start showing their horns. As America as America is falling apart, all right, they're gonna start showing their horns more and more. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to keep up the act anymore. All right, the facade. You got that, bro?
Yep. Just back in Isaiah 31:1, it says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots because there are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel."
Yeah, that's right, man. So our people, guess what? We got our priorities fucked up. All right? You got it twisted. All right? The so-called white man, he's the basis of men. He's the basis of man. What the hell do he know, man? Anything that he got, the Heavenly Father gave it to him, man. And the scriptures speak about the, how's it go? The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom or something to that effect. All right? You know? Our people got it messed up, man. We out here in the highways and byways, all right, every weekend, all right, multiple times a week. Videos going up. People know who the Israelites are, and guess what? Our people ain't taking heed, man. All right, they ain't taking heed. Okay, go ahead.
It says, "But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord."
Yeah, that's right, man. They not look for the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord, man. All right, and that's why 2/3 of our people are gonna be cut off and die. All right, Jake only want to look towards the Lord when shit get real, when you fucked up, when you jammed up. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to be making promises. Lord, if you get me out of this, I'm like, yeah, well, shut the hell up, man. He said, "My bad, I'm getting pissed." All right.
I'll read the second, the last two verses here. It says, "Yet," you want to see how it's shot. It says, "Yet," or most likely most high. It says, "Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity."
Yeah, that's right, man. Have there been evil and the Lord have not done it, man? Some great evils is coming to this place, man. All right, yeah, we saying the so-called white man, but guess what? The Most High is using him as a vessel to bring evils upon these niggas, man. All right? Because the so-called white, he's the basis of men. The Lord created them to be the wicked. All right, that's what he was created for, man. All right, so ain't going to be no changes and this man's going to come to his senses. You know what I mean? When the authorities, all right, out here, brutalizing Jay. You got women in the street. Yo, how can you do this? And they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. All right. Yep. All right. They don't give a fuck, man. How could you do this? And bro, so-called white man, his favorite thing is to destroy Jake, man. All right. He got that hatred in his heart for you. Okay. Right.
It says, "Now the Egyptians are men and not God."
Yeah, that's right, man. All right. They put themselves up like they're the Most High. Right? Guess what? They got the so-called white Jesus and all these other type of things. All right. Hey, you might talk to a police officer. Yo, bro, these dudes got a God complex. All right. They got a God complex. They got a God going the wrong way.
He doing good. Hey, the America is a spiritual Egypt today.
Right.
Egypt had its time to rule and rebel, but now America is carrying on that spirit also. America is carrying on the spirit of all these heathen nations that ruled before us, the Babylonians, the Greeks, Romans, Persians, Medo-Persians, and now we hit at the last negative of our Esau's rulership, America. America is carrying on all the wickedness of these past rulers.
Like when you watch these movies, they'll have like these talismans that invoke a particular spirit or persona.
Yeah.
Like you have like these guys that put on Michael Jackson's glove with the glitter to invoke that spirit. Right. Michael Jackson on them. So at least in America, what they'll do is they'll put up an obelisk to invoke them same demons that were in Egypt, or have designs of how they designed the blocks and all that, to shape an owl and out to invoke again to bring these spirits and chance back in.
Right. Yeah, that's right, man. Spiritual Sodom and Egypt. All right.
It says, "Now the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, and the horse is flesh and not spirit. When the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is open shall fall down,
No, I just wanted to just buy some.
and
food.
they all shall fill together.
Yeah, that's right, man. So guess what, man? When the Lord stretched out His
No, I
hand,
didn't wanna
all right, you're
try
gonna see the
that
power
for
of
just
Yahweh
I didn't wanna
Shai,
go-
man. You're gonna see that power, man. All right? They thinking that, you know, the scripture speak about their inward heart is that they're gonna rule forever. Guess what, man? Like, yeah, you can feel that way. All right? You could feel that way. You could feel like you want to rule forever. You could call lands after your own name. All right, but the reality is, as the brother mentioned, this is the last leg of the Edomite Empire and any empire from any of these other nations, man. This is the last leg of that, man. All right, and as you spoke about it, hey, that's the worst feeling because, hey, guess what? These elites, they know the prophecies. All right, they know the prophecies. All right, they trying to go against that, but guess what? Hey, Lord's not a man that he should lie. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 47 and 15. No, Isaiah 45. No, Isaiah 47 and 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art worried in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators.
That's how America was built. It was built on wickedness, witchcraft. Okay, and even till this day. So the Lord is like, all right, cool. You've been doing this since you were in rulership, came in power. Okay, let's see you do it. Let's see if this can help you now. Although you've been doing it since the beginning, y'all all the different elite. At least they have those different like when we go to college and shit.
Fraternities and
All those different like skull and bones and what can they do in those organizations, man? They do all kinds of wickedness. Masons and all that kind of shit, man. It's all witchcraft. All right. So guess what? Now you're at the height of your witchcraft, man. Now the Lord's coming to take you out at the height of your witchcraft to show what that He's really in charge. To show His power.
Stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
Yeah, the scriptures say the Lord, the Lord beat you to powder, right? If I'm saying it right, okay. But that's going into what? America's destruction. It's going to be by way of nuclear missiles, ultimately, right? Esau is not going to stop World War III from happening. His kingdom is not going to go on forever and ever. He's not going to find out how to live forever. He's not going to find out the God gene. Whatever it is Esau is trying to do, he's not gonna figure out certain, like it's a puzzle. He's not gonna hack it. Okay, he's not gonna travel out of space. He's not gonna be half man, half machine. All right, whatever ideas you have to basically continue to rule in power, the Lord said it's not gonna work.
There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee.
Yeah, even the merchants, these different nations that do business with America, they have to find a new business partner, a new connect. But ultimately, America going down, that brings in what the kingdom, the kingdom of the Most High, Yahweh Shai. So these nations, they ain't gonna be doing business like that. Doing business they're gonna be doing is bringing their goods into Israel, to Jerusalem.
Yeah, that's right, man. A lot of these countries, they thinking they are wondering who's gonna be next. All right. Guess what, man? Hey, Israel's gonna be next, man. All right. We're not talking about Israel, that's occupying these lands right now, man. All All right, the true Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. All right, we're gonna have next, man, under our Lord Yahweh Shai, man. All right, yeah, you know, it's business. America is gonna be destroyed, so they can't, you know what I mean? They can't make that bread anymore. All right,
real quick, Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Yeah, they imagine a vain thing, man. All right, they went on. China got next, Russia got next. All right, who's gonna rule next? You know what I mean? Oh, are we gonna make money on this side and that? Listen, man. Hey, man, get that out of your mind, man. All right, get that out of your mind. All right, before you wonder about all of that, man. Hey, wonder about them 1,000 years of slavery all you heathens gotta take part in, man. All right, wonder about that. All right, you know. All right, America is done away, and guess what? Guess what? Hey, nobody just taking that spot, man. You have to realize it's the last time anybody else other than Israel is going to reign upon the earth, man. None of you heathens is going to reign, man.
It says the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Yeah, that's right, man, because guess what? All of y'all was complicit in our captivity, man. All of y'all. All right, talking all that shit, you know, Iran sending videos. Yo, the blacks and shut up, man. All right, all of yours was complicit. And guess what? If they had a chance to reign, to rule, they gonna do the same shit. All right. So guess you know. So it don't even matter, man. All of these discussions and all of these things, man. All right. All you nations gotta pay the penalty, man. All right. All right. The Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Well, you already know what it is with you. You're the arch nemesis, man. All right. No mercy to them that show no mercy, man. All right? You guys gonna get it the worst, and you guys are the weakest. All right? You gotta build our kingdom up now. All right? Go ahead.
Right. It says the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's what. So they're laughing at us. They mocking us, man. All right. So the Lord shall have us in derision, and in reality, all right, we went off. All right. So the heathen, they can laugh now, man. All right. But guess what? He who laugh last, laugh the best.
Let me read it again. Verse 4.
Yeah.
It says, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. So the Lord is going to laugh at them.
Right.
Like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most High is going to have the last laugh. The scriptures in the book of Luke also says, woe to them that laugh now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they look at the state that Jake is in, and Jake at this point, we're in like a mockery state. You know what I'm saying? Like Jake has become a self-fulfilling prophecy, as they say.
Right.
You know, they act ignorant, and they embrace acting ignorant.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, look, the enemies are doing what the enemies are doing. You know, you see your enemy looking like a fucking fool, you laugh at him. So they're going to do what they're going to do. But the Most High is going to flip the script.
Yep.
It says, the Lord shall have them in derision. All right? Let's look at that word derision. To mock, deride, ridicule. To mock, deride, have in derision. So, we're going to be mocked in the kingdom. I mean, we mock you now. Groups, Godheads, or what have you. We know that you're beneath us. Our people don't see it, but we know. But in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be apparent, man. You know, you slated out groups. Dot heads.
I was so jacked up, man. You go to the corner stores and they'll side with them Arabs over you, man.
Right.
You know, they'll bow down to the Arabs before they bow down to getting order with Jake, man.
Yo, it's funny you said that. You know, I got in a situation a few years ago with a Jake. He was like, yo, that's my Ak. I'm like, whoa, bro, take it easy, bro. That sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying? That sounded crazy. I got a whole thing with them dudes. And, before we got, you just showed it. The Benjamite dudes, they bleaching themselves, man. Like, yo, bro, what are you doing, man? You trying to find favor, amongst your enemies, man.
You know what's
right?
wild? When the brother showed that video, it's one like, when I was younger, Jacob, there'll be like a dark-skinned Jake, he bleached himself to look light-skinned, but these Jakes, they're like, you're red. Like, they really taking pride in just having their blood show forth throughout their skin. So they're completely fucked up in the head, but this is how society has always been. Whoever's in charge, that's what people want to look like.
Yeah.
When the Persians was on top, everybody was not fashioning themselves like the Persians. Now that these Edomites is on top, how do they show that they're on top? Because they show the Most High and the Son looking like Edomites. And you might think that's a small matter, but that's a huge matter because it plays on the mind of our people.
Going back to the Egyptians, but Jake was under the rule of the Egyptians during the time of Moses. What you had Jake doing? Shaving their head bald and doing that, which was equal to the Egyptians to try to fit in. Because they was, how could I say,
Well, the Egyptians was doing the same shit as local white men, and they posed themselves as gods.
yeah.
The pharaohs worship as a deity in these things. You know what I'm
But the
saying?
Egyptians started that shit first, called himself Amun Ra. So, but everything that Esau got, he got it from the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Assyrians, the Medo-Persian Empire. There's nothing prolific about Esau. That devil, he steals cultures.
I'm saying that earlier, spirit.
I got two scriptures. This is Jeremiah 2:33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Yeah, that's right, man. Why you turn your way to seek love, man? And that's a problem with our people, man. All right, hey, here you are, all in you in your lowest state. You know what I'm saying? Yo, bro, trim is your way. You bleaching your skin. You can't even stand in the sun. You know what I'm saying? Jake participating in the enforcement of all these wicked ass laws. All right, you got the boule and all of that, man. You know they want they selling out their people for a little piece of the pie, right? And once you go against your so-called master, they just discard you, man. They humiliate you, discard you. They throw your ass in a dungeon. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? This man don't love you, man. All right. But that's Jake. Jake think they go along to get along, man. All right.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Yeah, that's right, man. All right. So guess what? He said he taught the wicked one thy ways, man. All right.
I got another scripture as y'all mentioned. The Jakes showed them Akim. They side with not the Akim. They side with the with Ishmael.
Right. Yeah.
Over their own kind and stuff like that. All right. This is just too far. That's Isaiah 51:20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy power. They in the corner stores. They're on the corner. Right. They're on the corner all day selling their product. You know what I mean? Looking for ops. We're on the corner, sun up. I mean, not sun up, but
Sun up.
They out there now. You mind your business. You just going to buy something. You don't care what the fuck is going on. It's a circumspect. Motherfucker ice grill you, right? And then go in. They'll walk, show Ishmael love and shit like that while Ishmael propping their women. They'll look at what this nigga doing around here. Maybe they don't say it no more, but they'll give you a cold look. You know what I mean? And this the shit. You know what I mean? A lot of times this is why they be getting into shit too, because you got other motherfuckers that don't look for trouble, but they with the bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm sorry for blabbering, but
Can I say something to back him up? Because you said that's Isaiah 51:20, right? Isaiah 50:20.
Yes, 51:20.
51:20, and I can attest to that because I'm going to work. I go to work 4:30 in the morning. You know, I got to be to work at 5 o'clock. So sometimes I leave at 4:15, and I'm driving different routes. And when you go to a certain neighborhood, in front of the neighborhood of the 24 hours, you see women and men out there. And then when you come home, they got the same clothes on, and it's fucking hot as hell. You mean to tell me, talk about the women? You mean to tell me you didn't go home, took a nap and wash your box? You sit out there? I don't know how long he was out there, but here it is. I'm going to work 4:30 in the morning, and when I come home from work, around 3, you sit out there with the same clothes on.
They're like wild bulls in the nets too, and they out there on the corners. 5 o'clock in the morning, where you gonna be? Outside on the corner. That was a song. Yeah.
But that girl, her name was Nonchalant. You better get yourself together. Yeah. That's it. That's it. I gotta put it up. This is Isaiah 31 verse 1. woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. It says, and stay on horses and trust on chariots.
Like you broke down earlier, you know, Egypt is talking about America. America is that spiritual Egypt. You know, and our people do trust in their chariots and their horses, and they go down to them for help. Why? Because they ain't rulership. You know, like brother was just going into how you got the Esau's is depicted as God, so-called God, and so-called Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior, which is a lie. But our people, you know, it does put your mental. So our people go down to them for help. Right?
Depending on their military, depending on the goodies that they get from Esau,
benefits,
from the government.
All that stuff.
So it's back in Isaiah 31 verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses, which is the power of destruction of Esau, and trust in chariots, because there are many.
Right.
It says, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh.
That's the problem.
Like Yahweh Shah.
That's the problem, man. Our people don't look upon Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah. Any bump in the road, Shalom, any bump in the road, our people run into the government, run into Esau. Your man raised his hand, you on the phone, playing with domestic violence.
Right.
Okay, you got this is the point where even these your sons and your daughters is out of hand, man. These fucking rugrats, they'll call the cops on your ass. You know, everybody's running to Esau for help, but no one is handling the matter through the spirit of Yahweh Shimi Yahweh Shah.
It says, neither seek the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, no, they don't seek the Lord Yahweh, man. How you seek the Lord, really? By doing, coming down here on the highways and byways and dealing with the prophets, man. You know, coming out from the corners or even going online. Everything is a click away, you know? But no one goes to learn the truth. They rather learn their laws. Oh, you can't do this to me. I know my rights.
Right. I got rights.
You know, they'll seek Esau's authority. And time after time, they still get their ass beat, get your car door bashed open, okay, you get mistreated. And ultimately, you should have just called upon Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. The Lord will deliver you out of all kinds of situations. You know, the scriptures speak about, oh, go ahead, bro.
I wanted to add, along with calling up on the Lord's name, you also got to use discernment, you know, and you also got to, being in this truth, you also have to abide by Esau's laws, because there was a video that came out a couple, years ago, where some dude, a nigga, right, he knew the Lord's name. And when the cops was busting the window open, he was calling on the Lord's name.
I saw that, yeah.
And that could have been avoided, because if you would have just fucking comply, man. You know?
He was like, I know my rights. I saw that video.
Yeah.
We did lessons on it. I remember he was calling on the name, but he didn't use any wisdom. The scriptures tell you to read your adversaries quickly.
Yeah.
I got a precept.
Yeah.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 14. And it reads, is Israel a servant? Is he the homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
Yeah, that's right, man. And hey, that's what that's the position we in right now, man. All right, we went off. All right, okay. A lot of people don't understand, man. This is why we in the position we in, man. We disobeyed our heavenly Father, man. All right, so that's why we in this lower state. We lower than the lowest, man. All right.
Yeah, because you got Jake's money, Judah on down to Issachar, leaning upon Esau from everything, man. You know, and then they become servants for their sake, because everything that Esau push out there, they absorb in and feed it to their children. Even if it's things that's not, right in the eyes of the Most High. I ain't gonna get into it, the alphabet shit,
Right.
all the things, So I ain't gonna get into it, but this is back in Isaiah chapter 2 verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
Yeah, that's right, man. Why are we spoiled, man? All right, because we went off. All right. Let's add to the brother's point. Even you trying to get Section 8, or a brother was telling me the other day, some of these women to get Section 8 and all these type of things, you got to put your man on child support. And I'm like, damn, is this all of that? He said, yeah, you got to do all of that.
That was the point of going for the break of the
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was a movie back in the 70s called Nadine, about that's very same type of you go into. There's a movie called Nadine back in the 70s. My sister loved that movie. That's how I know about it. She's always watched that movie. It's called Nadine, and she had to hire her husband in the closet. She had Section 8. She had to hire her husband in the closet when the Section 8 people came over to inspect her house. You know, to make sure, and you saw that movie, right? To hide certain valuables that she had so she could keep her, because they saw that she had certain valuables in the house. You don't need us. So she would take it or put it all in the closet and hide her husband in the closet. He in the closet, hide him. The movie is a black exploitation movie from the 70s. It's called Nadine. But we should watch it. It's a good movie. It goes into how Section 8 and welfare damaged the so-called black community.
Yeah, basically like.
They did it first with God, by the way.
Huh?
Yeah.
They did it first with God.
Yeah, cut.
Like the way.
Suits and ties and shit.
Like part of it is, right, what they'll do is, because if the government is giving you money, and they'll be like, but we know that our man signed a birth certificate, right? They basically want the money back. So if we're helping you or giving you this money, you have to make that man pay child support because they take the money back. So the child support that he's paying is not even going towards the kids, it's going straight back to the government. So if they had any fucking common sense, the same money the government is giving you is roughly around the same money that the child support will be giving you from your man. So if you would just stay with the man, the money equal out to the same. And then on top of that, if you make too much money, according to them, they cut you off or they give you a low amount. So you can't even really, you know, it just incentivizes you to be lazy, you know. Because I used to work for DHS, and I remember when I was I remember when I would work in like one of the like the shelter buildings. I was there for a couple of years. Some of the women came in with one kid, and by the time I left, they had like 2, 3 more. And I'm like, why? Because the more kids they have, the more money they get. And sometimes they vouchers be like 22 to like 32 $100.
Yeah, that's
yeah, because real quick, I remember I seen a clip. Some demon chick was like, "You make more money having multiple baby fathers than one," because because in New York, for one, it's 70%, and if you have 2 kids, it's 32, and then I think 3 is like almost like 40. But if you have
72% times 5 kids in New York City or 6 kids in New York City.
So if you have multiple men, let's say you have like 4 men, that's 70% from each of those 4 men, different paychecks, versus you having one guy and like 5 kids that's coming out of his one little paycheck. Like it's a business.
Right. You know what, real quick, so like brothers, not only the money thing, but really it's what it does to the child. Because the fatherless home, it's not a guarantee, but it increases the likelihood that that child might go into more degenerate behavior. Women govern children by emotions. They don't know when to, okay, this is the disciplinary time, and this is the time when you're a bit more, show a bit more empathy. Men will have that balance, women don't, and it scares a lot of children. Both sons and daughter ultimately the wrong direction.
Yeah, and that I think somebody said this earlier, a few weeks ago. Hey, all of this, it created a YN, man. All right, you got a bunch of fucking emotional, unstable motherfuckers running around here with the attitude of, you know, are they mother, man? You know, because once you have a system like that going on, ain't no real discipline or rulership in that bitch, man. You don't have no rulership over your child. You might say something like this to say, yo, bro, I be watching these things, the court order. Sometimes I watch these court, you know, these child support cases on, you know, online and all of that, man. Chick breaking the court order for years at a time, you know what I mean? So it just promotes a little spurt of, you know, lawlessness, man. You can do whatever the hell you want, you know what I'm saying?
I saw one video, I'm not gonna ramble, I'm gonna get straight to the point. You had this judge, she was in court. They was all on FaceTime, you know, I don't know what kind of, you know, weapon they was using, but they was all on FaceTime, and the judge was asking the woman, you know, she was trying to apply for child support. And the dude was like, yo, she's taking my kid out of state. And she said, not supposed to do that. And we got a child support, you know, so she was like, oh, you know, I still live in, you know, in Sacramento, but she wanted to move to Houston. So she did it without, she just did it. And he was like, yo, she ain't ready to move to Houston. So he was like, so the judge was like, okay, so he's paying child support and you want to move to Houston, but you have to get his consent. Well, I just want a new scenery and everything. How much child support he's going to pay? So the judge was like, okay, if you still live in Sacramento, you're gonna pay. He's gonna pay. What it was he said? It was 2,700 because 2,700 because this dude was into real estate. So she was kind of like reluctant. He was like, yo, she already moved, Your Honor. So you know what the judge did? She said, what's your address? She was in Houston. Technically, I'm still living in Sacramento, California, but I moved to Houston. And he was like, case dismissed. No child support, nothing. That bitch was,
it's a different jurisdiction.
that bitch was fucked up in the head like, oh shit. Because they was living in Houston, right? No, they was living in Sacramento, but she went behind her husband's back, her ex-husband's back. He had child support, and she moved to Houston behind his back.
This is Micah 2 and 10. And they covet fills and take them by violence.
Yeah, that's right, man. And that's a so-called white man. That's his MO, man. All right, he wants what you have, and he goes around the world taking your things by violence, man. Taking over your neighborhoods. All right, a lot of places in New York City. Hey, that's how it went down, man. All throughout these countries, man. All right, they got a bunch of different black Wall Streets. All right, they got a bunch of towns out here that they flood them and now it's lakes. All right, hey, they just overthrew the Venezuelan government a few months ago, man. I think that dude's still locked up.
About 8 months ago, yeah.
Yeah, he's still locked up, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
In his Nike Tech.
Right.
And houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Yeah, that's right, man. You oppress a man in his own house, man. Right? Hey, bro. I seen a video. Cops pull over, this dude's son. So the dude, the man, he was just observing what's going on. The cop was like, yo, it's none of your business. I said, damn, bro, that's a man's son. You know what I mean? All right. That's how the so-called white man is, man. He brings this order to your household. He tells you what you can do in your house. All right? Right? And it's not for your benefit. It's ultimately for the destruction of the whole family, man. The son is fucked up. The daughter is fucked up. All right, the mom, she gone because she co-signing this shit, right? And Jake, his heart might be broken. Don't tell him what spiral that might send him into. You know what I'm saying? But that's the ML of the so-called white man. Anywhere he goes, anything he touches, all right, he destroys it. He want to tell you what you want to do in your own land. You live in your land. All right, 5,000 years, 10,000, whatever, however long. All right, you want to come over and bring his own rules, man. See, Trump was talking about, yeah, we gonna take the Strait of Hormuz and we gonna tax, we gonna charge. I'm like, damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's not even your shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's how the so-called white man moves. He moves at a certain level, that high level of arrogance. His chest is puffed it up. His shoulders is like this. All right, but that's all good though. You know what I mean? The Most High, he build your ass up. He build you up and you think you're untouchable. And guess what? In 1 hour, this place is going to get the hell up out of here, man. All right? Anybody got a precept?
Isaiah 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
Yeah, that's right, man. So our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They think that the wisdom of this world is something, man. See these women talk about, I got a degree and I got this and I got that. Listen, bro. None of that is going to matter in the day of the Lord's wrath. None of that is going to matter in the day of Jacob's trouble, man. What you going to do, man? You going to back out your master's degree, man? All right? You got 3.5 GPA or whatever it is, man? All right? None of that is going to matter.
In 1 minute, it's going to be like
because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Yeah, that's right, man. They rejected knowledge, and this is the true knowledge, man. All right? That's why we say Tawada Yahweh Shem Shai for opening our eyes to these scriptures, man. All right? The wisdom, the knowledge of this world is not true wisdom, man. If you have the knowledge and the wisdom of the scriptures, that's what's going to come. That's what's going to matter. All right, the scriptures say what? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. All right, so you got to be locked in. You got to be anchored. You got to be rooted. All right, in this truth, man. because your degrees ain't gonna save you. Your successful business or whatever you have is gonna save you. Your inheritance that your parents left for you and all you. None of that shit is gonna save you in that day, man. And as we spoke earlier, hey, that day is there, man. It is at hand. This is this is the closing down sale of America, man. All right, come on.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Yeah, that's right, man. You rejected this word. All right, people walk by every day. People scoff on the. We don't have too many scoffers these days. All right, they watch
out, man.
Right, they fizzle out. And guess what? They still prideful in it. They're not gonna turn to this truth, man. They rejected this truth. Hold on, bro. Let me finish this. Yeah.
It says, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, and thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
Yeah, that's right, man. So guess what, man? You rejected this word. All right, you scoff, you talk shit, you ain't hearkening. You know what I mean? And guess what? In all reality, people be listening. You know what I mean? People be listening, but guess what? They not taking it. They not taking it. They're not taking heed, man.
That's all right. We got our people. They either get gunned down in the street, they catch strays, they're in a foster care, they're in the group homes, they're in a prison industrial complex or industry, whatever you want to call it. This is the reason. They gang banging on each other. This is it.
All right. This is going into Elder Sharon is going into about lack of knowledge. This is Isaiah chapter 6 verse 9. And he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed but understand not, and see ye indeed but perceive not. Because the Most High put an angel out there to block 2/3 of you Negroes, especially the Americans, from getting this truth. You can't see it. So you see it's out here, you're looking down on us because look at us like, we bugged out. We got on dresses and no, we are the prophets of the Most High. And before the Most High destroys the nation, he sends his prophets to warn his people within that nation. Go back to the history, see it, read the books, man. So the Most High blinds you from getting this truth. This is back in Isaiah chapter 6 verse 9, and he said, go and tell his people, his people is what? The Israelites. Hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. You see the prophets in the streets. You hear the words coming out, but you can't perceive, you can't hear, you can't perceive what's going on because your mind is blinded. Because the Most High got that angel blinding your mind from seeing and opening your mind, which is your heart, to understand what's going on. It says, verse 10, make the heart, which is the mind of this people fat, and make their ears heavy. Soccer, the World Cup soccer, Major League Baseball, football is about to come back in,
That's what they do, like they always keep a burning schedule going year round. Basketball wrapped up, now we got baseball and soccer. That's wrapped up, now we got football. Keep it going.
It's called greater circus, you know what I mean? And then go back to the ancient Romans and their traditions. It says, make the heart of this people fat and make their ears heavy and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart, which is the mind, and convert and be healed. Verse 11, then said I, Lord, how long? He answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitants, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. That's going to
that's why we're not out here trying to convince Jake about this truth.
Right.
You're just not gonna get it. Okay? They don't care if you had a microphone out here, a speaker, a boombox. Jake ain't gonna get it, man.
It's the Most High that wants him to get it.
Yeah, this dude Anton Daniels a few months ago, he's like, yo, the problem with the Hebrew Israelites, they're so harsh, they can't get big followers. Yo, bro, it's not even about none of that. It's not about getting a bunch of followers and da. Nah, man, the Lord, he don't deal with large amounts of people anyway. Big groups and you know what I'm saying? All right. You know when you first come in, you might try to convince, but as you get more seasoned, and even the young brothers coming in, they you know what I mean? They're kind of ahead of the game. They gotta grow up a little faster. Yo, not trying to convince nobody, man.
What makes a VIP valuable or a skybox valuable? Everybody can't get in those rooms.
Right. No, that's a fact. That's a
Good point.
That's a good analogy.
Yep. That's tough.
Second Ezra 8:1, it says, and he answered me saying, the Most High has made the world for many. It's like the Most High has made this world for many.
Yeah, that's right. He made this world for many, man. Everybody can participate. Everybody think they got a big piece of the pie. Everybody think that they got a shot. All right, all these nations, they push it on. You know, everybody could be saved. All right, the Chinese, the so-called white man. First of all, these people, everybody got to pay for their transgressions, man. Everybody got to pay. That's all right. It's called the elect, man. All right, the elect is not everybody. Right? All right.
It says, and he answered me saying, the Most High has made this world for many, but the world to come for few.
Yeah, the world to come for few, man. All right, starting off with, all right, Yahweh Shai and the rest of the 144, man. All right, and that's what we're striving for. All right, that's why we don't have, you know, in this world we make do, but we don't have delusions of grandeur. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to make it in this society, man. Big plots of land, I'm gonna be laid up and da-da-da. Because guess what? Even if you have all of that, all right, all that is about to come to naught, man. In this world, you don't really own anything. You know what I'm saying?
You own shit.
You don't own shit. You could have a plot of land on a house that you paid off and you pay taxes on every year, and you good. And niggas could build a highway and say, yo, we taking all that shit, man. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
If I could add, even like you mentioned, even when you don't pay it off your house, you gotta pay property tax, or the bank would take it. If you catch rainwater, I think I seen somewhere where the state they sued the guy, or they pressed some type of like legal matters, and he had to get rid of all the rainwater. Now Esau, this damn devil, is gonna start selling light.
Selling light?
Esau is gonna start selling light. So I looked up the article of the day where basically what they're gonna do is like at nighttime, if you want sunlight,
right,
you like the company, you gotta like, if you like Google it, but basically just to break it down, at nighttime, if you want sunlight, if you sign up to be a part of like the program, and you could be able to like just make happen from your phone, where they could literally just beam down sunlight like on your yard. So first, Esau is controlling the air because it's airspace, like this brother will always go into. The higher like the building go up, then you got to pay for that. Yeah, so you got air rights. So Esau is selling everything natural. Esau is selling the water, air, and now sunlight. Right? This damn demon takes everything that the Lord left for us for free, and he's selling it.
Well, they have something called carbon tax. They want to charge your ass for fucking farting, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's CO2 emissions, and mind you, this is the deception of the so-called white man. CO2 is good for the earth. Right? They tell you CO2 is bad, but a volcanic eruption emits more CO2 than any. You could New York, all these kind of LA can't add up the amount of CO2 that a volcanic eruption emits, because that's food for the trees. You know what I'm saying? The reason they try to say it's bad is again so they could put up another tax on that. You know, have you drive these EV vehicles, which the EV vehicles, that's just more control. You know, you can't go off grid with an EV vehicle.
Yeah, I just want to bring this up real quick. It's going into the Strait of Hormuz is closed. The Strait of Hormuz is closed, but I think 50% or 70% of the fertilizer come from through the Strait of Hormuz. So now that's locked down, so these farmers are struggling with fertilizer. So understand this, it's something called night soil. When you go into it, it says night soil. And I found this out by this researching. It says night soil is a historical term for human excrement collected from cesspools, prairies, or buckets, often during the night. In agriculture, it has been used for centuries as an organic fertilizer to enrich soil with essential nutrients like nutrients, whatever that name is.
Pathogens?
No, what's that right here?
Phosphorus?
Phosphorus and potassium, but it's used requirements, careful management. So let's get to it. It says nutrients, risk and modern usage. It says pathogen transmission, unprocessed night soil can contain harmful bacteria, viruses, and parasites. What's happening right now with the food? So because the fertilizer is being kept back, because the Strait of Hormuz is closed, the natural fertilizer these farmers are using night soil, which goes back to using human feces. It says also contain harmful bacteria, viruses, and parasites. The eggs of Hamilton's parasites, worms, can easily survive the feces, leading to soil-transmitted diseases like what's this one right here?
That's a little like
Kind of hard, tongue twister.
That's a cariasis.
Modern alternatives, but we get the gist of it. They resort to using human feces as fertilizer.
Wow.
And that's why, you see, it's not a coincidence that
Yeah.
the fertilizer is lack of fertilizer, because they said 50 to 70% of the fertilizer come from through the Strait of Hormuz. Now we're saying these farmers are struggling with no use of fertilizer to cultivate their land. What we're saying now is parasites all in the food. Why? Is it a coincidence?
Destroy them that destroy the earth. We shall eat that bread defiled among the
I mean, am I
Gentiles.
wrong for thinking this the way I'm thinking it?
Drink the poison serpents and live.
Huh?
What was it? Isaiah said he'd rather use cow feces to make his food. Use human feces.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Yeah. You know. So this guy is low, man.
I mean, shit. It's called night soil.
That's a good. And then that's going into the plagues that's going upon people now. You can't eat an apple without catching some kind of bacteria to where you get diarrhea or some shit like that.
Yes. Severe diarrhea.
Sometimes it lasts for two days to 2 weeks or a month. When it lasts a month, you're going into the hospital. You may die.
That's called C. diff, C. difficile. You can look it up. It's called C. diff or C. difficile. Yeah.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 1, and it says, "And he answered me, saying, The Most High had made this world for many."
And scriptures tell you that broad is the gate, right? And many that go in there. So this world is like a broad gate, meaning sin is everywhere, and most people are going to walk that path. You know what I'm saying? But the straight and narrow, which is following the Heavenly Father, they don't want to go into that position of difficulty, because when you serve the Lord, now you got to operate your life based on certain restrictions. The restrictions being the law, statutes, and commandments. But those laws, statutes, and commandments, they're good for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to see yourself like a child and the Most High like a parent, right? If you brothers have kids, you know what? When your child is growing up, there's often your child is doing things that you don't want them to do. And you discipline them for it. They're a child, they don't see why you're doing it, but you know it's good for them, right? Don't have too much candy, go to bed right now. You know, they just think, they just want the pleasures for the moment, but you're telling them, no, this is the right way to go about it. It's the same thing right now with the Most High. He's telling us not to get caught up in the world, and your flesh want to do worldly shit at times, but the Most High say, no, this is best for you.
Yep. It says, "And he answered me, saying, The Most High had made this world for many, but the world to come for few."
The world to come for few is Yahweh Shai's kingdom, all right? With us being joint heirs, and like the brother was going into earlier, the Lord has never dealt with a large number, man. You know what I'm saying? And scripture says things like, "Follow not a multitude to do evil."
That's right.
You know? Look, going all the way back to Noah, I always say, like, if Noah listened to the crowd, none of us would be here, right?
That's right.
So you have to believe in what the Most High says. Right?
It says, "I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee that it giveth much mold whereof earth and vessels are made."
Right, so it's easier to find dirt. I mean, I'm looking like dirt, right? If that is real dirt, I don't know. But I'm looking at what's perceived to be dirt right in front of me. All right, now I just try to finish it first while I make that second statement.
It says, "But little dust that gold cometh of, even so is the course of this present world."
Right, and gold is very hard to find. You can get Sirach 2, or even what was that, Lamentations 4. All right, the gold in itself is hard to find. All right, but it's the same too with a righteous man. And gold in the state that you see it, like I got gold around my neck, I don't know if you ever got gold or whatever. The gold that you see it, when you see it in that, like the gold on my finger, when you see it in this state, it don't look like that in the earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It has to get purified first before it becomes a shining, precious metal. So to a man of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? We were in that worldly state. You know what I'm saying? Doing all types of bullshit.
I got it.
Water, brother. Doing all types of bullshit. But now the Lord is fashioning us, just like how gold is being molded into that shine. How do you do it? With heat, fire. That's the adversity part.
That's right.
There's more. You got the. You read the third verse?
It says, there be many created, but few shall be saved.
Damn.
That's tough.
There's another one too that's compared to a drop to a wave. I don't know if you can find that one, but
Drop in the bucket too.
right. But it says something like as a drop to a wave. It's an Ezra. But few shall be saved, man. All right, so these guys coming in like large following. If you have a super large following, then you gotta kind of look at shit sideways, like, yo, am I really doing things right? Because the Lord always said small sanctuary. You know, it's easy. Yo, if we wanted to make this thing large, we could. You know what? Come in with your dreads. You know, come in with your lineups. Come in with your children and your women. We could do we could say all types of shit to bring a large number. But the apostles, our elders and bishops, we don't move that way. We want to move how the scriptures say to move. We found
Yeah, I
it.
think this is it right here.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9. I'm gonna start at 14. It says, then answered I and said, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them that which perish than of them which shall be saved. Like as a wave is greater than a drop.
God damn, man.
Damn.
That's heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Mega heavy.
Every time you read the scriptures, when it comes to like righteous versus wicked, it's greatly outnumbered. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, Solomon said he found one righteous man for every 1,000.
For one woman,
Man, it ain't righteous.
you ain't find shit.
Oh,
That's just
yeah.
the truth, man.
You know, look, you find a woman, just bend over. That's it. Don't try to break down those scriptures, man. But no, for every 1,000, man, that's so. Think about that, man. That quickly. You know how they talk about compounding interest? You know, there's really compounding interest, right? All right, so 1 for every 1,000, right? That's not counting if he has a wife, kids, right? 1 for every 1,000. You got 10 righteous for every 10,000 people. You got 100 righteous men for every 100,000 men. So if you have 100,000 men, you're gonna have women, you're gonna have kids. So they probably have. So you're thinking about a population of 1 million, maybe, right? With only 100 righteous men. You know what I'm saying? Don't even think about 1,000 righteous men. Right. And you're looking at a major city right there. You know what I'm saying? So this notion of, you know, we gotta have a. I think Makawana used to say that. There should be an Israelite camp on every corner. But it can't happen that way. It can't. Like, if you're gonna really be scriptural, it can't happen that way because most Israelites are gonna be wicked.
Hey,
You know?
let me just jump down real quick. Same verse. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 22. It says, "Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain."
Damn. So they were born in vain. Meaning you got people that were born just to be hit with a missile, and the Most High is terrible like that.
Or to die from famine.
To die from famine, to get caught up in Jacob's trouble like we opened up with, martial law, you know, that was your lot from the jump. So everything is in control of the Most High, and that's why we in fear of the Lord, because ultimately, this is not our choice. Everything has already been meant. Everything that's gonna happen is gonna happen. You know, so we just pray that, look, the Lord have mercy upon us, man. Have mercy upon our family. You know what I'm saying? Because it's ultimately His decision. The Scripture says He will have mercy on who He will have mercy.
But I saw this video on YouTube of this family, you know, well, this woman, she was jealous because her boyfriend had a daughter, 5 years old, so he was in the military. So she had custody, you know, they had custody, so he had custody, so she was his wife, and she starved him. 5-year-old, she starved her 5-year-old, his 5-year-old daughter, and then put her in a bucket, and put her in the garage, and she was dead. And when they found her, she was only weighing 10 pounds. She's 5 years old. So I was saying to myself, I kind of got like emotional, but I had to come back to reality. That was judgment of the Most High. For her to die in the famine's way. She died of you know, lack of food.
Yeah, the Most High put that jealous demon on that bitch to commit that murder. Now she gonna get judged. So that's how that
she got like 30 years for that shit.
No, that is judgment, you know, but life for life. You know what I'm saying? The Most High still gonna have to take her ass out too.
But that could be her too.
Yep, that's true.
Because she got 30 years. This happened 2 years ago.
How old is she?
The woman, 27.
Definitely would have been better. Or something. That was it. You heard that lamentation?
I got Lamentation. This is some Lamentation chapter 4, verse 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street.
That gold, and you're gonna keep reading.
It says the precious sons of Zion, comparable to the fine gold.
Yeah.
How are they esteemed as earthly pictures, the work of the hands of the potter?
So Jake, people, Israel is supposed to be compared to fine gold. Right now, the majority of people, they compare to earthen vessels. You know, they're not going to be in that golden state. Why? Because they don't have that knowledge of understanding.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the real goal that the Lord is dealing with right now of men that are serving Yahweh by Shem Yahushua to the best of their ability. Right? In truth and sincerity too. You know what I'm saying? If you want to become gold, you got to get hit with fire. There's no way around it. Somebody get on what the Lord said. I'll come to baptize you with fire. Is there more there?
I mean, you want me to read verse 3? Even the sea monsters draw out.
No. Okay. Wait, what?
Even the sea monsters draw out.
Oh, you can read that because we was just getting on the naked woman, right?
It says, Isaiah chapter 4, Lamentations chapter 4, verse 3.
Yeah.
It says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast, they give suck to their young ones. The daughters of my people is become cruel like ostriches in the wilderness.
And that's going into the so-called black woman, the so-called Latina woman. All right, what they do. Oh, that's what. So I remember what you're talking. So, the women of our tribes, all right, they've just been completely heartless. You know, I remember one time I was doing lift, and the Jake, I had a nigga woman in the back seat, and the Jake, you could hear him through the phone like, "Let me see my son," like, and she was like, "No, you should have been thinking about your son when you were that bitch in Jamaica." It's like, "Let me see my fucking son," like,
out of jealousy.
Like, just you could feel his pain. I was just driving like, "Fuck, man," you know what I'm saying? Because you know, when you have kids, you can definitely relate, man. I can't imagine being pulled from my daughter. You know, if you have a son being pulled from your son, and the woman not letting you, that's a hard thing to deal with. But the woman, being the selfish, demonic creatures they are, they're not even seeing the torment that puts on a man and the child. You know what I'm saying?
How about the woman that because she couldn't be with her boyfriend, he broke up with her because she cheated on him. So what she did was, she put his twins, that was like 6 months old.
Oh, in the oven, right?
Yeah, in the oven, and baked them. And when he came home, he was like, "Where my kids?" He started smelling like food cooking. He went in the oven, and she told him, "Check the oven, nigga." He was in the oven, but she recently got convicted. She got 80 years for that shit, 40 for one child.
See that sick, nasty shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
This is 1 Samuel, going back into the how it is to you know, the righteous men, prophets going into the quality of gold, you know. So this is 1 Samuel 1 and 8, and this is the parents of Samuel. It says, then said, go straight to the point, okay. Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her Hannah, because Hannah couldn't give birth at the time, because she was weeping about it. And Elkanah said, why weepest thou, and why eatest thou not, and why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? Because Elkanah was a God-fearing man. Okay, and that's really something that's hard to come by. So he said, listen, I'm a God-fearing man, and I have you as my woman. You don't have these kids, but listen, I'm better to you than 10 kids. Okay, so that just shows you the quality of a man, a righteous man.
Let's use Samuel. You can go to the 3rd chapter.
Okay, I got it right here.
1 Samuel 3 and 1.
No, before you go to 3 and 1, when Hannah was this dude's wife,
Yep.
she got pregnant, right?
Yep.
So she was happy. And Hannah prayed and said, my heart rejoiceth in thee, in the Lord Yahweh. My horn, which is my power, is exalted in the Lord Yahweh. My mouth is enlarged over my enemies. All the nations, all the congregation, not the nation, all the people in Israel, the women, they was talking against her because she was barren. So she was, talking, she was looked down upon. So, because back in the ancient world, it was a blessing to have children. But nowadays, they send their kids to Molech, man. It says, because I rejoice in thy salvation, there is none holy as the Lord Yahweh, for there is none beside thee. Neither is there any rock like thee. Here's the point. Verse 3, talk no more so exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of thy mouth, out of your mouth, for the Lord Yahweh is a God of knowledge, and by him actions our way. Because they was mocking her because she couldn't have birth, but the Most High blessed her with a son. Which was Samuel.
Right. It's crazy because things were so different back then. In the ancient times, she could have probably been like 13, 14. I remember, the reason I'm saying things is kind of funny because they were doing the same to my mom when she was 18 and wasn't pregnant yet. Because most of that time, you getting pregnant like 14, 15, 18.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
Different cultures.
Different cultures, yep.
So you want 1 Samuel 31?
Yeah, because you're pretty much going into how being a man of the Lord is precious.
Yeah, that's right. It says, and the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in those days.
Right, the word of the Lord was precious in those days, all right? Why? Because prior to Samuel coming on the scene,
There was no prophet.
for 300 years, 300 plus years, we just had judges, we had no prophets. So the word of the Lord became precious.
It says there was no open vision.
There was no open vision.
Seers.
Exactly, all right? So that's what makes the man precious, all right? We compare the gold, we compare to these things because we have the vision. You know what I'm saying? We're breaking down these scriptures.
That's right.
All right, the word of the Lord is what makes us precious. See? If you could receive it, Samuel also was John the Baptist. It's kind of this Elijah. They all have the same lot wherein, like, you look at Samuel, you look at John, you look at Abba Bivens, like, they always open up the floodgates for more seers. You know what I'm saying? They always kind of come in, it's like it's a gap. They come on the scene and they just open up the floodgates for more brothers and kind of always come back through that same lot. You know what I'm saying?
So it said the prophet accepted up to the prophet. So that means if you was a prophet in the ancient world, you was a prophet in the ancient world in 2026. If you was born in, whether you was born in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s, you're gonna come back in your lot.
I believe also too they worked the same miracle, Samuel and John, which was to bring down rain. I believe the scripture says that. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, Elijah and Samuel.
But Elijah brought down fire and rain.
Right, but Samuel also did the same thing with the rain. But yeah, no, the spirits come back, more or less do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And look, because I remember the scriptures speak about like how you divide by lines. Like you have certain prophets that have weightier books than others. Yeah. But as long as you're a man of the Lord, man, that's a blessing right there.
That's right.
That's it.
Yep. This is Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, and it says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Right. How? You knew your spirit. You know what I'm saying?
He's the father of spirits.
He's the father of spirits. All right?
And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Right. Matter of fact, there's another one that says in the New Testament, Peter, an apostle, a member of the elect before the world began, something to that effect, when he was introducing himself. I don't know if brothers can find that, but read that again one more time.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. It says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee.
And also too, when you go into Old English, when he says I knew thee, it could also mean also I acknowledge thee. You know what I'm saying? Jeremiah is not going to come back as just a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? Even if Jeremiah comes into camp, and I'm not trying to put down any brother, but he's not going to be like this camp sign holder. He's going to have a major lot. Right. Nothing wrong with holding camp signs, brother. I'm just saying that he's going to be able to rank it. He's going to be somebody, you know, important because he's always going to be an important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It says, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
Right, and it's crazy because he showed up. He came in this thing as a child, and then when he popped up to Judas Maccabees in the vision, he had the gray hairs. You know, we did this lesson where we were going into the historical, we were going in the chronological order of the Bibles, the books of the Bible, and the way we did that was you got to line up the kings. Now, if you look at Jeremiah, you know, he was out there for 40-something years. You know what I'm saying?
Was he not Jeremiah that was not Jeremiah that gave Jews Maccabees?
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Gave him the sword.
You saw him in the vision. You saw him in the vision with the gray hairs.
Gave him
Forehead
the
and
sword.
gray, yep. And, you know, again, that's heavy because he was out there for a minute. How do you know that? You can read the first verse. Read the first verse.
Yep.
It tells you.
Jeremiah 1 verse 1.
Yeah.
The words of Jeremiah, the son of Hilkiah, of the priests that were in Anathoth in the land of Benjamin, to whom the word of the Lord came in the days of Josiah,
So that's one, King Josiah.
the son of Ammon, king of Judah, in the 13th year of his reign. It came also in the days of Jehoiakim,
That's another one.
the son of Josiah, king of Judah,
Right, so the word came to the time of Josiah, Jehoiakim, go ahead,
unto the end of the 11th year of
to
Zedekiah,
the end of the 11th year of Zedekiah. So he's on the scene, prophesying through these different reigns. And it's like 40-something years, go ahead.
right, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the carrying away of Jerusalem,
From the start of Josiah all the way to
Zedekiah.
the Babylonian captivity, he was out there prophesying.
Wasn't
man.
Zedekiah the one that witnessed his sons getting slain, and they put his eyes out?
Yeah.
So that's the last thing he saw, his son getting slain.
Zedekiah was supposed to be a vassal king for the Babylonians, but he revolted. And Jeremiah was warning these guys time and time again, like, look, just submit yourself to the Babylonians, man. Don't fight against them, don't resist against them. But you have prophets that were false prophets saying, nah, we got this. And you know what the Babylonians did? They came in the dead of winter. They came in the 10th month and siege and shit. So you can't grow beef. It's wintertime. Caught their ass off guard, put a beef on their ass. And then they put a vassal king up that also revolted.
So now Zedekiah, I think he betrayed his brother or something, and they took him and put Zedekiah instead of his brother.
So what happened was Josiah, you had Jehoiakim, I believe he was carried away captive, and then they put in Zedekiah.
Yeah, come.
You know what I'm saying? And then Zedekiah didn't obey, you know?
He didn't want to pay tribute.
He didn't obey the Babylonians, and he got fucked up.
If I could add, like how you're going into how the prophet Jeremiah was around for X amount of years through many kings, it's plain to see, because how many
Presidents?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how many presidents was ruling when the apostles was on the scene? You know, it's very believable because the apostles been on the scene for about like 40+ years, right? How many presidents have America had in the past 40 years?
Yeah.
Which goes to just back to what you're saying.
You see the same thing too. You see the same thing too with Isaiah. He was prophesying to many kings. And a lot of these guys were contemporaries, right? Because at the same time Jeremiah came on the scene, Baruch was there, right? When Baruch was a scribe of him. When they were being led away into captivity, you had Ezekiel, you had Daniel, all right? You had Hosea and I want to say Hosea and Amos. My memory's kind of foggy about it, but a lot of these prophets were on the scene together, all right? And when Jeremiah even mentioned when Jerusalem got stomped out, he said just like Micah said it would happen. So they knew of each other, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah, you know, you're right. The apostles have all been around since the Reagan administration in the 80s. Then from the 80s, the Bush administration, going to the 90s, the Clinton administration, what else? Who else?
Bush Jr., right?
Daddy Bush.
Daddy Bush, then Bush Jr. administration, then from Bush Jr. the administration of Bush Jr. Who was it after Bush Jr.? Barack Obama. After Barack Obama, it became out of the Bush administration, out of Barack Obama, it became Trump. After Trump. So you're right, Shalom. The apostles been around for various administrations, man.
I think John said.
Oh, throughout the too.
Just at the ancient prophets of old. Shalom,
Yeah. So it's that's what it's like. It's very, very believable, man.
Yeah.
You know, and just like how you have prophets throughout the four corners of the earth, you have other prophets. You have other brothers in the truth that'll mention like, hey, the apostles brought this out, the elders brought that out. So you have certain prophets mentioning other prophets that are scattered throughout the four corners. So again, the scripture says nothing new under the sun.
That's right. That's the same spirit. Over time, I think the known world at that time was dealing with, Asia Minor and whatnot. But now, dealing with the whole world, the whole globe. We had the known world, but now we have the whole globe. And it's going out through the Holy Spirit, throwing out our apostles, and then through the internet, man. Alright, so we'll continue on the spirit, Yeah, you get that, yeah.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
Yeah, because I say this too real quick. You don't know who we are in the spirit. Because the spirit doesn't die. Okay, it comes back down. It's through reincarnation. Okay, so a certain spiritual acts to where you can say, okay, this guy got to be this person and so on and so forth.
You never know them.
But you really never know. It's all through the spirit. Okay, but we will know for sure in the kingdom.
It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
Yeah, the gospel of the kingdom. Okay, y'all don't understand the kingdom, the gospel, the good news of the kingdom. All right, it's good news to hear that this wicked ass kingdom, America, ruled by Esau, Edom, is gonna be destroyed. It's good news, man. It's good news to hear that.
Beautiful news.
Yeah, that's right, man. It's beautiful news to hear that your brother, you have a brother that's a straight up mo. Okay, it's beautiful news to hear in the kingdom he's gonna have multiple wives. He's gonna be set in order. Okay.
He's gonna be ashamed for a little bit.
Yeah, he's gonna be ashamed, but ultimately
taking rods.
Yeah, but ultimately he's gonna be set in order, man. Okay, your father's is believing Cesare Borgias. He's gonna be set in order, man. Okay, he's gonna have Edomite slaves, multiple wives. He's gonna be in order. So is your woman. These women gonna be in order, right? They ain't gonna be trying to serve these other gods or try to take a certain authority over you and your judgments. Okay, they're gonna be under you. They're gonna be in order. They're gonna want to do their own thing. They want to meet your needs. All right, and they're gonna leave the hell alone. They're gonna be nagging your ass all the goddamn time. All right. So yeah, this is a beautiful thing. Continue.
It says, for a witness unto all nations.
For a witness unto all nations, man. This thing is going out worldwide. Mainly why? Because Israel was spread abroad, man. Okay, we have Israelite foreigners spread abroad that gotta hear this thing too. They gotta come in too, man. Okay, we got Israelite foreigners, we got Israelites that look like heathen nations that part of the 1/3. That's part of the 144.
Oh, part of the 2/3.
And part of the 2/3, because what's going out? Salvation and judgment. All right, because if you hear this word and you don't cooperate, you're gonna be condemned. Because this is the good news. This is the gospel, and this is prophecy going down right now, man. Right?
It says, and then shall the end come.
And then shall the end come. So it's a beautiful thing to see so much brothers, and it's so much brothers being woken up, and these other camps too, because you're gonna have brothers coming out of those camps too. That's gonna wake up. Okay, because these scriptures act as a way to, when you sift something, sift it. It's a sifting process, man. These scriptures is a sifting process. All right. Now, if you can't get right with it, if having long hair is a stumbling block onto you, then you've been sifted out this thing, you know, and so on and so forth. You can't. Oh, I can't have sex on the Sabbath day. You know, these simple things. Okay.
That's just one day out the week. You telling me out of all the other 6 days, you can't just not do nothing sexual for just one day? For just one day?
Okay. And also you get that what's that Amos 9, which speaks about sifting.
Yeah.
You might as well get that too. So I said it. Okay. Because this is a sifting thing. Like when you go fishing, like it's about fishing and you getting the good fish and throwing away the bad. You know, it's the same thing. All right.
It's not right.
Yep. Okay. And we get it like that. Because this gospel is out there. All right, but guess who's going to hear it? The elect is going to hear it. 2/3 going to hear it too, and they might even come in. But ultimately, what? The elect is going to withstand the test of time.
I got it. Amos 9:9.
Huh.
Just for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations.
Right. The Lord said He will command and He will sift the house of Israel through all nations, man. Why? Because our people is out there, man, amongst these nations. All right, different countries. They have tribes where it's a bunch of Jakes amongst them, man. All right, I think you had Jake over there in damn, what was that war, man, that they lost, man? What was that war, bro? Damn, America with the war, the Vietnam War, man. You got Jake that went over there and dropped off a bunch of babies, right? They have villages where it's just dark-skinned people roaming the streets with woolly hair.
They show you that in the movies, Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
They show you that in the other movie, where she was like, "You too buku, you too buku, you too buku." Talking about the Jake. It was a Vietnamese chick, and she was dancing. See how he said it? Me please you all night. Took her to the white boy. The white boy was like, nah. So Jake came into her and was like, yo, what's up? She was like, no. You too buku. You too buku. He said, I'm not too buku. Get it over this Alabama. He said, this Alabama black snake. If it ain't too buku. So she wound up getting with him. And she was a setup. She wound up giving the whole platoon,
Damn.
a disease, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's to show you prime example how Jake be over there popping on Vietnamese women, and a lot of them women are, a lot of them kids over there are Jake, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I used to work with a guy that was telling me back when he was in like the army whatnot, and they were stationed over there. He was like, they would just bang him out. He was like, they would just bang him out. And he was like, yo, if he got kids there, he don't know, but he's like, it is what it is.
They were just having sex, banging them.
Yeah.
Some of them was going raw after a while.
Damn near all of them was raw dogging over there, man.
After a while.
After a while, because when you start dealing with the same chick, after a while, you start using protection because you get a little feelings for her, and that's your chick, you start busting her, you know what I mean? This is back in Amos chapter 9, verse 9. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the sea.
Like corn is sifted in the sea. Now, when you sift corn in the sea, it's really a violent act, man. It's a violent act because ultimately, we all being sifted now through the scriptures. But what's going to happen is things are going to get physical when the Lord returns. With those chariots, with the angels to deliver the elect, the Lord's going to come for delivery and destruction.
That's right.
Okay, the scriptures speak about the righteous scarcely being saved.
That's right. But the only ones that's going to be sifted are the undesirables.
That's right.
Because when you go into the thing, you sift out everything. You're looking for gold nuggets. You sift everything out. The only one that's going to remain is the nuggets, the gold. It says.
And the undesirables are you 2/3.
That's right.
Okay, the 2/3 of you Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and you Israelite forms.
It says, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
Yeah, not the least grain fall upon the earth. Because if you have a grain, that's something you can eat. When you eat your food, eat every last grain, right? You don't waste it.
That's
Okay?
right.
Not the least grain shall fall upon the earth. That's going into the elect, man. You might have the least of the least. Scripture say, the least of you shall be as King David.
That's right. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It says, verse 10, all the
I
sinners.
don't mind being the least, man. As long as I make it, that's the main thing.
Yeah. That's it.
You go back to King Solomon when Makita was coming to see him. She thought the doorman was Solomon. That's how decked out the doorman was.
Right.
He was just opening the door for her, and she thought he was Solomon.
Yeah. And that's namely king.
That was the you know, just a taste.
Little taste.
A taste of the kingdom. 40 years of rulership by Solomon. The taste of the kingdom. That's the taste back then.
It speaks about how decked out King Solomon was, man. And he had these other countries, these other kingdoms in order.
Okay. And also one more thing. The kingdom of Solomon is on a pause. Because now the King Solomon is Yahweh Shai in the reincarnation, if you could receive that. Yahweh Shai gonna take the kingdom and press that pause button, everything gonna go back to what it was. You know, us being in order, you know. The least of them, even the least of the men in the kingdom is gonna be decked out like the doormen of Solomon. Probably even more decked out. Right or wrong, brother?
That's right. More decked out. More decked out than that, man, because this is the kingdom. We dealing with elements that we never really thought about. You know what I'm saying? Don't even imagine, man.
That's right. That's gonna be beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It says, it's a little more. It says, so going back to, it says, verse 10. I read it again. I'm gonna read it again. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. You will say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
Yeah, that's right, man. All the wicked of my people, which we go into the 2/3. All right, because you got Jake that just might be in such a good state to where they don't see themselves taking an L or being destroyed. You got Jake that even relying on this government so much that as long as a bank exists, as long as credit exists, they don't see themselves being in a poor predicament.
That's right.
Okay?
That's
but,
what.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's it. That's what I tell you when the book of Sirach, chapter 11, verse 25, in the day of prosperity, there's a forgiveness of affliction. But in the day of affliction, there's a forgiveness of prosperity. And that's what's gonna happen to 2/3 of you Jakes out there, man.
That's right.
Right now, you're in your prosperity mode. So you don't have no. You're not thinking about being afflicted. You know. So.
Was that it? Was that it? Almost done, right? That was done? Almost done?
There's one more verse. It says, in that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close the breaches thereof.
That's right. And right. The northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, they're gonna be one again. They're gonna be one accord again.
That's right.
Okay, like there was under King David. And King David is gonna be back on his throne too. Like you mentioned earlier about reincarnation.
Right.
Okay?
It says, and I will rise up his ruins, and I will build as it in the days of old.
Okay, in the days of old, like according to King Solomon, that was like, you know, King David did all the fighting. Okay, but King Solomon really had 40 years of peace.
Moses allowed David to establish the kingdom and his son Solomon to rule in peace.
Right.
40 years of peace.
Right, and after that, the split started. Okay, that's when the split started.
Jeroboam and Rehoboam.
Right, but now the Spirit's gonna have it to where that's being mended up, and it's being mended up now through the brothers, starting with the apostles, the elders on down, the brothers out doing the highways and byways, coming together to bring out this word. Because now the scriptures say how could two walk
together, let's say be agreed.
Unless they be agreed, you know. So this becomes like a more personal thing now. Now you fellowshipping with brothers, breaking bread. You're taking on certain business adventures. You're taking on, you know what I'm saying? You're solving problems together. This person you always talk to if you need something. Mm-hmm. So and it could be the Northern Kingdom or the Southern Kingdom, but that breach
is being brought together.
That's right.
It says, verse 12, the last one, bring at this point, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen.
Possess, man.
Possession as property, as slaves.
Slaves, captivity.
You understand that?
18.
You understand that?
Okay. You know what I'm talking about?
It says, this is the last verse we had. It says that they may, this is Amos chapter 9 verse 12, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, which is Esau, the so-called white man.
Right? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man today. His true nationality is Esau, Edom.
And of all the heathen which are called by thy name.
And of all the heathens. Okay, why? Because you have these heathens, they persecute captivity too. Straight up. All right.
It says, which are called by thy name, saith the Lord Yahweh, which doeth this. This is being done by the Lord Yahweh, by Yahweh Shah. It says, behold, the days cometh, saith the Lord Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and the hills shall melt. Esau's going to be overtaken. Esau, the so-called white man, is going to lose his... Right now, you see what's going on in the Middle East? This is leading to the beginning stages of World War III. Because they keep on attacking Iran. And Russia is watching, China's watching, and all these different nations are starting to align themselves with each other. The Pakistanis is trying to negotiate a deal between Iran and America and Israel, but Israel is keep on sabotaging the deals. Because
they're doing away with the dollar. They should do it with the dollar. Go ahead, got it.
Because what's happening is, what Israel is doing is sabotaging what's going on over it, because Congress and the Senate is paid off by the Israeli lobby. So they in their pockets, including Trump, of the Zionist regime, which are the international bankers. They go further than Benjamin Netanyahu. He just a puppet. It goes further than that. It goes to the ones that's put on the strings, the international bankers that control over the banking system, that's controlling everything. And they got their little puppets to do their bidding. So Trump is one of their puppets. Trump is a low-level puppet too, because Benjamin Netanyahu was over him, and that's why he bowed down to Benjamin Netanyahu to take away the orders from Benjamin. Bibi. Yeah, you got it.
Right now, Esau is transitioning, man. We're moving into the beast system. Okay, that chip that has to be brought out. So Esau is gonna make those necessary moves.
That's right.
You know?
All right. This is Revelation chapter 18. When you start at 5, it says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities."
See, this is why, like you read earlier, man. This is why Esau has his eyes on you. So for Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, he knows we're the Lord's chosen people, and he knows we just to have his ass into captivity. Okay, that's why he does the vile, inhumane things he does to us.
That's right.
It says, "Reward her even as she rewarded you."
Reward her, America, Babylon, aka Babylon, first go to Babylon, aka Egypt, right? Reward her even as she rewarded you. And you saw our reward, which they keep putting it on TV, they're putting it in those movies, right? They're putting it on Netflix so they can remind you just who the hell you are.
And glorify, and they have these simple-minded jakes play these different movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they got jakes playing these movies when they degrade themselves. So you know what that could do to your psyche? You know when a guy gets into movie role, their spirit goes into that role, man.
Do you know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's the spirit. You said that because Samuel Jackson, during the time of Django Unchained, he said he had to conjure up his ancestors and get in that role.
Yeah.
So how you conjure up your ancestors to get in that role to be a house nigga? Because you had ancestors, your ancestor was house niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you were house niggas. You bowed down to Esau's system.
That's right.
You were an actor.
That's right.
Which is a hypocrite.
That's
so
right.
he said he had to conjure up that spirit of being a house slave. You know?
Yeah.
in order to play that role professionally. You ever seen that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So you said how he was moving. Candy! When when he got shot, I think he was holding him and hugging him. And,
He could have been playing him damn self. Right? Conjuring up that spirit when he was that house nigga, like, you know?
Yeah, but listen, when to get those play those roles, gotta play a mental in your psyche. Gotta play in your psyche because you getting spat on, you getting slapped, you getting disrespected,
bump broken,
all that shit is fucking wicked, man.
Gotta do a retake slot.
Yeah.
You know, retake.
Right. That's not it. Do it again. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
That shit really happened to us in real life. Here it is, you fucked up overacting about it. But our ancestors, our past generations, our past selves, we really went through that shit, man. Right. Ain't no goddamn joke. There ain't nothing to really joke about.
That's right.
You doing this shit for money, for a plaque,
for entertainment. But what's his name again? That played Django.
Jimmy Fox?
Jimmy Fox said that the scene there where he was whipping the white dude, he said it's satisfying to the soul. He said that was the most prolific part of the movie that I enjoyed, you know? Besides killing them crackers when he at the end with the gun, but he said that whipping that cracker to give him a chance to feel what we felt.
Yeah.
When he hit him in the face with the whip, he was like, ah!
Yeah.
Then he killed him.
You gotta watch that. It's a movie with Sidney Poitier. It's called Apache Blue.
I seen it.
That's one of my favorite movies.
I seen it before.
Only reason why is because the cop smacked him. And he smacked that motherfucker right in the back.
He was a cop.
He was a cop in that movie? In that show?
I think he was a cop in that
I'm
show.
not sure.
No. He was
Yeah.
He was a person dating.
He was dating some blonde chick.
Edomite chick.
Edomite blonde chick. Yeah.
So when the cop slapped him, he slapped him back, and the cop was like,
Yeah. Check that out.
Check that out. That movie's a good movie, man.
Yeah. So go on, bro.
Yep. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup.
Yeah, we doing double. And how we gonna do double? Through spiritual powers, man.
Whip your ass.
Alright? We ain't doing none of that weird abominable things you be doing, man. We ain't with that butt breaking. That's against the laws totally.
Taking your wife when you get married. When Esau allows you to get married, after you're married and you about to go into your woman, he comes in and busts the kick the door and boom, snatch her up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna purify for you.
Yeah.
And walk away with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nigga got nothing to do. And the Jake that's in the room, she's protesting, but what she gonna do? She's scared. Jake is scared. He just looking. She come back to foul with her head down, you know.
Yeah.
And what can he do?
That's captivity. That's all Esau know, wickedness, man.
And what can he do? Come on, imagine that, man.
Yeah.
Imagine that you in captivity, you got married to your woman, you know. She may be a virgin, you know, and you like, I'm about to get me some virgin buns, you know what I mean? And Esau kick the door in, boom, come in, let me purify for you.
Or Esau may take the man.
He does both.
Yeah.
He does both. But that's because he's the wicked the Bible speaks of. This is why we're saying he's the wicked. This is why the scriptures say he has to pay for his past sins.
Yep.
Damn.
It says, in the cup which he have filled to her double.
Yeah, filled to you double, man. So you know how much fire you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Killing your ass once ain't gonna justify the wickedness you've done, man.
You gotta put you to death, break you back up, and put the spirit back in your body, and do it all over again.
Yeah, and you remember everything.
You don't remember all his deaths.
You know what I'm saying? And you ain't gonna die the same way twice either.
We're gonna bring you remembrance of how, this dude took me up, grabbed me with my hand, and flew me into the air, almost out of space, and then dropped me.
Just let him go.
My body splattered. You know?
Lamentations chapter 4 verse 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwell in the land of Uz. The cup.
Daughter of Edom, that dwell in the land of Uz. That's going to America. Okay, because the daughter of Edom is who you so-called white people, man. That's your forefather. That's your daddy. Esau Edom. Right? So read it again.
Yep, this is Lamentations 4, verse 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom.
This is your last rulership. Enjoy. Alright? If you get the arcade and your parents saying last game, you gotta lock in for that game. This is your last one. You gotta try to win this bitch. Okay? So Esau, he's enjoying his rulership right now. He's locking in all wickedness, trying to keep it. But it's over, man.
You're gonna lose.
It's over. You're in a trick bag, as Apostles would say. Right?
Yep. It says that dwellest in the land of Uz, the cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked.
Yeah, that cup is going into captivity. You just brought out how we're gonna have you in captivity in the kingdom. All right, you're gonna be our slaves again.
We're gonna whoop the shit out you.
All right, and we're gonna whoop you right into shape, man. It's right in order. And your ass still gonna be going off, man. And we gonna love it, because you have to bust your ass again.
And New Jerusalem will come down. If New Jerusalem is when them chariots come down to bring down the elect and take over the earth, you know?
Yeah.
You don't think 2/3 of our people throughout in Argentina and throughout the four corners of the earth is going to buck up against what's going on until they see that power? You don't think Esau, some of his elites, they're going to be the first groups of slaves. But before, you don't think they're going to buck up? Of course they're going to buck up. We're going to have to beat the shit out of them, whoop them into shape, fuck them up, terrorize them, and then the elites is going to go into slavery, and then we're going to have our breeding farms in righteousness. But we got to go, while they're enslaved, while the elites is enslaved, they tell you they're going to punch us with the high ones that don't hide, but we're going to go out the four corners of the earth and put everybody in shape. The Moabites, the Ammonites, the Hamites, you know,
Yeah, all these heathen nations, man.
all the heathen nations. Then if they buck up,
Yeah.
we're going to display our power by beating the shit out of them. If they're going to buck up. Even the 2/3 that's scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, they're going to buck up too. That's purging the rebels. If they ain't going to want to understand, what, man, we heard about you, they ain't going to got to purge out the rebels. And that's the 2/3.
Yeah. Is he on? Is he on that one?
There's one more.
Okay, yeah, bring it out.
It says, the punishment of thine iniquities accomplished, O daughter of Zion, he will no more carry thee away into captivity.
Right. And meaning what? This is our last captivity right here.
Right.
Daughter of Zion's going to Israel. You so for Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is our last captivity. All right. So you could actually see the curses kind of leaving us and going on Esau. They're living in tents outside in the cities. Right? They begging for jobs. They on TikTok, telling they business how they can't find work. They're about to lose their house. They live in their cars. Okay, they hooked on drugs. Right? They starting to feel it now, man, because there's a shift happening spiritually. Right? They can feel it spiritually, man, and they want to stop it, but they can't. That's why even though a telltale sign is the women. The women are coming out saying the so-called black man or Spanish man, so-called Spanish-speaking man, okay, going into the Jakes, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they're the best. Okay? Yeah, not I mean sexually too, but just in general.
Right. Straight.
You know, in general, just the best. You know, whether you know, physique, you know, sexually, you know, even dealing with women, dealing with the spirit, the swag, the judgment they make, how they think about doing things.
You got a lot of Edomite women coming on TikTok comparing Edomites to Jakes, saying that, hey, that a lot of Edomites, they feel insecure when it comes to Jake because if they see they said a so-called white woman, she said, they see a so-called white woman, she said, I'm one of them, I'm speaking from experience. If you had a black boyfriend, they would ask you had a black boyfriend because they don't want to deal with you anymore.
That's a fact, because there's this chick, like, I've known her for years, and like she's only into like Jakes. So because her family is like a little more traditional, because They're from Portugal, right? But she only dealt with Jake. So she's like, when she'll go on like dates and try to date like a white dude, she always say the moment they ask about like her past, and if she been with Jake, she says two things happen. Either they get insecure or they get like angry, like curse out. Because now they're looking at her like, you been with the black guy, I don't want to talk to you. Or they'll be like, damn, like I can't live up to the expectation.
Because of the
and
fact that
it fucks. So she's like, she just stick with black guys because.
I'll say one thing. Three things happen.
Oh, okay.
You wanna have an Edomite that don't give a damn. You know why? Because actually he's an actual Israelite foreigner.
Yeah.
Right? He's an Israelite foreigner. You gotta understand that too, man.
Right.
Just because dude is look like an Edomite that might skin might be pale, it don't mean he a damn Edomite, man. He might be an Israelite foreigner.
Yeah.
The spirit gotta have mercy on you to get rid of Jake or not. If you can get rid of Jake and the dude is a goddamn tear.
But no, she was talking about how she get with her. She was like, how she dealt with black men all her life.
Yeah.
She said, I'm Irish. So I'm saying to myself, she could be a goddamn nigga woman.
Goddamn woman. Yeah.
It's looking like
She most likely is a nigga.
yeah, bruh. And she like, but when she went on a date with some white man for the first time, my first time dealing with a white man, and he asked me my past, and I told him that I've always dealt with black men, and he kind of felt insecure because he was like, he couldn't compete because he started comparing rods.
That's crazy.
They ain't about all that. Come on, man.
That's what I'm about to say. Damn. So, what will make you start comparing rods?
That's how it is with them.
That's not an Israelite.
That's crazy, bro.
Let me finish this up. I'm gonna finish this one, right? It says, "He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins."
That's right. The Lord sees and discover your sins, and we're going over it now, man. We're going into it now. First of all, the prophet's bringing out the whistleblowers, and then he brings it out through his movies, through his TV shows, through his documentaries. All right, so you can't really cover this thing up.
This is back in Revelation 18,
come.
right? So back in Revelation chapter 18, let me give it 7. All right, back in 6, Revelation 18 verse 6, it says, "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she had filled to her double."
Okay, let's go into captivity, man. Like you said earlier, through the spirit, we're gonna have Esau. Esau's gonna experience all sorts of hell.
That's right.
Right, go on.
This is the Luke chapter 4, verse 21. "Be of good cheer, O my sons. Cry unto the Lord Yahweh, and he will deliver you from the power of your enemies, of the hand of the enemies. For my hope is in the everlasting." It says, "For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you." This is the land of Israel, is a metaphor of talking.
Go on.
It says, "And joy is coming to you, unto me, from the Holy One."
Okay, so this is basically Israel.
It's Israel. This
go
is
ahead.
we'll talk about how the land was lamenting how
We've been cast out.
he was cast out, and now she's rejoicing because the Most High is bringing us back.
Hey, that
It's a
land,
metaphor.
that land is actually that land Israel right now is it's not flourishing.
So look what it says. It says, "For my hope is in the everlasting," which is Yahweh, "that he will save you, and joy is coming to me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which he shall soon come unto you from the everlasting our Savior. For I sent you out with mourning and weeping," 70 AD, "but Yahweh will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever." Meaning, give us the land again.
Get the land back.
Gives the land back. It says,
The scripture said, the curses said, you'll see it no more. The curses. But now the curses is going to be lifted.
but it says, "For I sent you out with mourning and weeping," 70 AD.
Right.
During the time of the Flavian dynasty, when we got the spoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It says, "For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but Yahweh will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Meaning the Most High is going to bring us back into our land. Right? You know, it says, like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from Yahweh, which shall come upon you with great joy and brightness of the everlasting.
And these nations, the Babylonians, all these nations, the Medo-Persians, all these nations, the Greeks, the Romans, they all see now captivity. Okay, but now they're going to see our salvation.
So it says, verse 25, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahweh. For thy enemies have persecuted thee, but surely thou shalt see his destruction. Read this right here, bro.
But, yep.
It says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahweh. For thy enemies have persecuted thee, but surely thou shalt see his destruction.
That's this thing. This time right here being now. At
And
the end of this
shall tread
thing.
upon his neck.
We at the end of this thing. This is us suffering patiently. You know, going into the elect, of course. All right, you got to maintain the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and suffer until it's time for us to be delivered. And we watching this. We know the time is coming because we've seen the prophecies come to pass. Now is the time of the chip. The chip has to be established. Once that's established, we know we out of here, man. We know all hell's gonna break loose. Jacob's trouble is gonna break loose. Martial law is gonna break loose. World War III is gonna break loose. Okay? Those nuclear missiles are gonna fly. America's gonna be destroyed.
It says, a little more, it says, verse, it says, I'm gonna jump down, 26.
Yeah.
My delicate ones have gone through rough ways and were taken away as flocks caught of the enemies.
Yeah.
It says, yeah, because hey, we was, you know, tread of tears, you know, slavery, the transatlantic slave trade. So hey man, we went through rough ways, man. It says, be of comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. The Lord Yahweh brought slavery upon us, brought the terrible judgments of the nations upon us, man. Because why we sinned against him.
Right.
Yeah. But therefore we gotta be of good cheer. So it says, for he that brought these things, it says, for he that brought, this is Yahweh, for he that brought these plagues upon thee, for he that brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, Jerusalem the people before it's a place. For he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. The Most High gave Jerusalem our name, man. You know, the name of Jerusalem is to our forefathers. Yeah. He's going to comfort thee.
Jerusalem, city of peace.
Dude, it's truth, man. Miserable are they that afflict thee and rejoice at thy fall, which all the nations around us, man. Starting with that. You know? Starting with that. You gotta do false fringes on your seat, right?
He walk like a fucking little
Like a degenerate.
sissy, man.
Slap him up, you know what I mean? But hey, man, it is what it is, man.
Yeah,
Let
it
that
is what it
motherfucker
is.
go. He gonna get his. This is verse back at 10. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away weeping and mourning. Now that was it, you know, it's a lot. The whole chapter is bad, man, but you know.
Yeah, no, that was
I know you want to bring out something, you know what I mean?
No, that was a point though. Yeah, bring it out.
Start at 1. Right?
Yep, fire one.
All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Right? It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
That's right, man. The righteous men going into the prophets, man. The 1/3 of Israel. We're going to the 144,000, really. You know, standing out here on the highways and byways, prophesying and telling this man to his face of the devil, and he's going to be destroyed, right?
And made no account of his labors.
Yeah, you made no account of your labors, man. They try to hide. They try to hide their atrocities that they've done to our people. They try to take it out the textbooks and whatnot. Okay, right?
It says,
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Okay? So it's why? Because that means that's your ass. See what? See Israel being delivered. Seeing the men out there in the highways and byways, the ones you call monkeys, the ones you call scum, the ones you call niggas, being delivered, man. Being delivered by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Right?
Yep. And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Yeah, them chariots delivering the elect, man, and not just the Negroes, especially the tribes too. Okay? Yeah, they call you all kinds of names too. But guess what? You're gonna be delivered, man. They're over there killing the northern kingdom left and right. But guess what? Those are the Lord's chosen people. Okay?
It says, so far beyond all that they look for.
Yeah, because why? Esau, Edom, they preach that the Lord's going to save them. They preach it so much. This new generation, they believe they are the Lord's chosen people. You know, they believe that Yiddish, okay, and small hats, thinking they're going to be delivered. All right, peace. All right, but the truth, the matter of the fact is what? You're going to be destroyed, man. Right?
Says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we sometimes had in derision.
This is he who we sometimes had in derision. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you in derision right now. If you don't know what you in, if you're wondering why you always late on your bills, if you're wondering why you always getting locked up for something you ain't do, it's because you're in derision. Okay, sometimes this is our captivity, man. The Lord put us here for a moment, like the brother just brought out beautifully, man. It's a thing of patience. Okay?
He says, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach.
A proverb of reproach, man. They got us all, they call us all kind of proverbs, all kind of bywords. Okay, and these are the same guys that's about to have your ass in the rulership. Now, if you on the train and you bump an Edomite, and then you go to the interview, and it's the same guy you bump, you're gonna be shocked, right? You know you don't got that job. You fucked up. Okay? That's gonna be the same. Let's down compare to what the hell the look that's gonna be on Esau's face when you see Jake getting beamed up, man.
That's right.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's finish it up. We're gonna finish it up with that. Just a little more.
It says, we fools accounted his life for madness and his end to be without honor.
That's right. They thought that we just hit for nothing. We just hit for naught.
Right.
We just out here on the highways and byways because we crazy.
Right.
You mentally insane. Yeah, you a goddamn fool for thinking that. But you can't help it because you're the damn devil. See, Esau, Edom is really a fool, man. But the Lord put that spirit on him to rule and conquer. But this man is really a fucking moron.
That's right.
Yep. It says, how is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot among the saints?
And that's your ass. That's gonna be your last thought.
Yeah.
I didn't even just gonna see straight black. You on black, man.
I got a testament real quick.
Yep.
This when I was driving, from my old company, I was delivering commercial equipment. So he wanted me to bring, the dude wanted me to bring the commercial equipment in, but it was an outside delivery.
Right.
So I said, no, I'm not bringing it in, man. It's an outside delivery, I'm putting it in front of your store. So the dude was like, yo, I don't understand why these monkeys don't want to obey. I said, yo, monkey? So I was like, all right, let me ask you a question, bro. If you answer this question correctly, I'll bring it in. No problem. All three of these stoves, I'll bring them in. Monkey got black skin, right? He was like, yeah, for sure. What you want? I said, well, when you shave that skin off, that hair off, what color is the skin under? Isn't it white? And the jaws drop, like, oh, shit. Because when you shave, you got a black dog, right? Look at his skin. You shave that, you move that hair, what color is that skin?
Yeah, it's right. You're right.
It's just the fur, that's all.
That's the mic drop. Please take us home, my
So with that, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
Double honor to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. And once again,
Shalom.
Shalom.